You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Hi. We are a slightly smaller crowd today. I think there's a vacation, right? It's a holiday weekend. So let's take advantage of the smaller size and spend a moment just telling somebody what inspired you to come to the center today. Go for it. He's giving me the look. Hugh's giving me the look. Yeah. This is everything I say goes on the live stream, so, yeah. My love of the, can't say it. It does, it's Sunday, it must be church time, right? Here we go. Okay, yeah. So it's great to see you. We've got an unusual Sunday planned today. I wanted to let you know that Chris is playing a rehearsal, and I tried as I may. I couldn't get another pianist, so we've got Dion singing with tracks, which is awesome. We're not, yay! We're not doing our congregational singing, but we will know that the youth are the face of God, and we will also know that we are remembering who we are, because that's kind of what the talk is about. And there may be a surprise or two at the end as well. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass the word to our board president, Lonnie.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So I think we could have someone volunteer to be Chris.
Oh, yes. Anybody?
Any takers?
Right.
Oh, come on.
Who's Chris? Yeah.
And, we always like to have a little fun, so I heard Barty ate your notes
Yes,
for today.
Barty ate my notes today. I have no sermon notes. I was going to wear my false eyelashes for Dion, and I forgot, so the day is ruined.
Continues on.
Yeah.
But that's why we're here, because you never know what's going to happen.
That's right.
So...
Okay, then.
Exactly. So I'm so glad that you joined us because it's a mystery and we're here to share friendship and love. So just enjoy.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Okay. All right, Bill. This is Bill with Youth and Family. He's going to enlighten us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, guys. All right. So who noticed the warm weather we had this week?
I did.
Right? Who liked it?
I did.
Oh, only a few? Only a few? All right. Who liked the gloomy, dreary weather we had before? Just as many people. Well, it does feel good to dry out. Who got caught in the traffic Friday? Oh, it was like all of Los Angeles was driving northwest through town. It was crazy. How was your trip this morning?
Good.
It was pretty easy. Who was happy about that? That's nice. Hey, look at that. Getting more hands now. Well, I remember Friday, I was grateful my car had air conditioning. That was a blessing. Can you think of something that upset you recently?
Yes.
Have you said thank you yet? No. Your brother? Yeah. Did you thank him? Did you thank him? I invite you to look for something to be grateful for in the experience, even if it just seems tiny and inconsequential. When you are grateful for something, your heart warms. A cookie? We can all be grateful for cookies and hamsters. So I invite you to try now being grateful by saying, I am grateful to sit.
I am grateful to sit.
Except for you.
In a minute.
Yeah. How about, I am grateful to breathe.
I am grateful to breathe.
I am grateful Dion is here.
I am grateful Dion is here. Yay!
I am grateful for this moment.
I am grateful for this moment.
You know, some of that love energy radiates from you into the hearts around you, and they all feel it. And then it radiates from them and ripples out to everyone. So I invite you all to repeat after me. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day.
And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you. All right, kiddos. But why don't we do the affirmation? Okay, will everyone repeat after me? We love you. We love you. We bless you. We bless you. You are the face of God. See you later. Okay, thank you. And here comes Dina, our practitioner, who will lead us in prayer.
So if you would like to stand, practitioners, ministers, and everyone settling in, taking in a breath, releasing it, feeling yourself grounded into the core of the earth, connected. Knowing there's one power, one source, one love, one heart in each and every one of us. I am one with Source, as is everyone in the room and beyond our room, knowing that we are all part of one. And I know that today our music is great. So lucky to have Dion here. The words of Bonnie find somewhere in our heart, resonate with us. I know that we all sense our connectivity. I give thanks for everyone here. I give thanks for those who are beyond, but knowing that in their hearts they're thinking of us or watching later. I give thanks for everyone. Today is good, all is well, and I release my words into the law, knowing they're so. And together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, Dina. Let's just continue to breathe and know the peace within that passes human understanding. And as we settle ever deeper into ourselves, we listen to the words of our sacred reading.
The Rattlesnake and the Butterfly, an excerpt from Living Untethered by Michael A. Singer. Why don't we live in an ecstatic state of one-pointed consciousness all the time? What went wrong? What caused the fall from the proverbial garden? It's very simple. The world comes in and it's beautiful. The very act of experiencing it is tremendously moving. However, that does not mean that it all feels the same. Heat feels different than cold because it is different. That doesn't mean one is better than the other, they just feel different. Somebody gently touches you, and that feels very different than if they bump into you. Different things are experienced in different ways. The Buddhists say everything has its nature. A coiled rattlesnake comes into mind as a very different experience than a butterfly landing on your arm. The rattlesnake is giving off its nature, emanating its particular wisdom. The vibration is awesome in its own way, but certainly doesn't create the same inner experience as the butterfly. There's nothing wrong with this. It's very real. What's wrong with having a variety of experiences? If a butterfly landed on you every moment, it would become so normal that it would be nothing. God knew how to create a world that would always be exciting. Your consciousness actually expands because of the knowledge that flows into it. You are learning and growing through your experiences you are having. This learning through life is true spiritual growth. It's the evolution of the soul. Just like everything you learn makes you smarter, every experience you have makes you wiser. When the presence of a rattlesnake comes into your mind, true, it's not a comfortable inner experience. It doesn't feel the same as a butterfly, but it is just as rich. It is just as important. If you're willing to be open at this level, you are still in the idyllic garden. There are no problems there. There are just learning experiences. No matter what happens, you are becoming greater. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you. All righty. So just keeping in that energy of the greatness of the one, the divine love that infuses this entire universe, the cosmos, and beyond what is known. We center into this place and remember who we are. We are consciousness. We are awareness. We are the awareness that is aware. And as we know this for ourselves, we know it for all beings everywhere. And then we breathe in deeply. And then exhale, opening our eyes as love, in love, and in service to what is, as it is, and so it is. Namaste.
Good morning, beautiful people of Ventura. It's always wonderful to be here with you. It's been a while for me, for many reasons. And Hugh, as always, thanks. He mesmerizes me with his readings. He just does. So commanding and so powerful and so true. That's the thing, the truth. I'd like to send blessings off to Chris for a wonderful rehearsal today. I know he's doing some magical things. That's actually how I met Chris. Chris brought me here to the center. Chris and I met many years ago in musical theater, and that's what he's doing today. So we send him blessings. I miss him. So we do have some musical tracks, and I want to dedicate this first song to each of you, of course. All of us need to remember what it feels like to experience peace and relief and release and healing. And I'm sending a special, special prayer out over all of our Israeli and Palestinian brothers and sisters for peace. To the river and play in the water and drink of forever and be free. There's a rest for the weary and relief for the hurting. So come to the river and be healed. How beautiful the waters blue as you let them rush over you. Say goodbye to all the things that silence the songs you love to sing. In the river, come to the river of peace. And come to this river and join in the laughter and dream makes you smile. Won't you come and stay a while? How beautiful the waters blue as you let them rush over you. Say goodbye to all the things that silence the songs you love to sing. In the river, come to the river. How beautiful the waters blue as you let them rush over you. Say goodbye to all the things that silence the songs you love to sing. In the river, come to the river of peace.
Thank you so much, Dion. Thank you. Thank you. And yeah, okay. People want to clap. Yeah. Thank you also for your flexibility. I know a lot of our musicians come here because they get to work with Chris, and he's so wonderful. I've been calling him Mr. Stinky lately because so I'm glad that you blessed him. Thank you to you, and also they don't really like to be singled out, but thank you also to our tech team that made it happen. So just give them light applause. And thank you also, Dion, for dedicating the song to our brothers and sisters in the Middle East. You know, I had several moments as I was preparing for this message today of kind of, I struggle sometimes with my happy, bouncy energy at serious times. I think some of you know that I say I can put the fun in funeral, you know? I get it. And I did think about the Middle East and perhaps changing the talk, and then I decided that I wasn't going to, that we need happy, bouncy energy at this time here, because if we are aligned with our true nature, if we are aligned with joy and peace, then we become a ripple of that energy into the world. And so that's my intention for us today. I don't intend to be disrespectful in any way. But I do want us to remember who we are and to recognize the consciousness that holds everything that's going on in the world right now, right here for all of us. So again, we can be that change that we wish to see in the world. So the message today is, what is mind? Has anyone wondered what is mind? What is mine, perhaps, but what is mind? What is this thing that goes on inside of us all of the time? Now, this is part of the happy, bouncy energy. Bear with me, it's a little rude for church, but 2,000 years from now, people will not understand the difference between butt dial and booty call. This is why the Bible is hard to understand. You're welcome. I looked up, I found this on a minister's Facebook page, and I had to find it and look and Google a bunch of stuff, and there were many, many jokes about the difference between butt dial and booty call. One of my favorites was, Grandma, you did not booty call the geriatric specialist, you butt dialed him. What this message is about for me is that it's about context, content and context, right? So the Bible, and I also don't want to diss the Bible because I love the Bible, but we have to take it in its proper context, right? It happened years and years ago. It was written years and years ago, and certain books made the cut, and certain other books didn't make the cut. They're all there for us to enjoy, and there has to be some awareness of the context in which the Bible is written. Many of us have taken classes here on sort of reimagining approach to, say, Christianity, and we look at what some of the idiomatic sayings that happened back then when the Bible was written or when the Bible was orally passed on. The words of the Bible were orally passed on, and it changes the meaning entirely. But the reason I'm pointing this out today in this talk about what is mind is that we are constantly doing what we do, which is taking something, a small piece of reality, and not considering the context of it, the matrix in which it sits. We are often just defining reality through our own lenses. And so the question for us today is, do we define reality, or does reality define us? There's a saying that I often say in the center. It's about this idea that we were born fine, then we get defined, and our job is to refine, right? Refine, thank you. Refine what? Refine our perspective. Refine our availability to receive the wonders of God. Refine our availability for miracles, the miracles that are happening all around us all of the time. Bill did such a good job of pointing that out in the youth message, that gratitude can help us refine our perspective and know that there is always something to be grateful for in every single moment. And yet sometimes we stop ourselves, don't we? We get distressed about things, we worry. I personally have been planning an argument in my head for an entire week. I've gotten really good at it. I always win the argument. It's not with any of you, by the way, just so you know. People always think, is she talking about me? Is she talking about me? Just turn to somebody and say, she's not talking about you. I'm not talking about you. Yeah. No, it's with my doctor. It's actually with Olive Kaiser, basically. I thought I'd take on Kaiser this week, tomorrow, actually. But there's a reason I'm not fighting with Kaiser in my head anymore, but I'll get to that later. But I think we do that. Am I the only one? Has anyone here ever scripted an entire mini-series in their head about an argument? Okay, some hands, yeah. Good job, Linda. Woo. Yeah, if you're shy about it, just raise your pinky, okay? We won't see, okay? Okay, all right, so do we define reality, or does reality define us? And the purpose today is to understand our mind in a personal way, what the mind really is, and how we might be limiting mind through our own personal definitions. And then through that process of understanding our relationship with mind in a personal way, to create greater peace, happiness, and freedom in our lives, and to abide in the true nature of being, the truth of who we are. I am remembering who I am is a spiritual statement, right? And as we do this for ourselves, again, we do this for all beings everywhere. We create peace, happiness, freedom. We create a capacity to abide in the true nature of our being. When we love our neighbor as we love ourselves, it doesn't mean we love our neighbor as much as we love ourselves. It means that as we love ourselves, we love our neighbor, and as we love our neighbor, we love ourselves. Because there's only one being here. That is consciousness, spirit, awareness, divine love, whatever it is, whatever we call it. Okay? So I'm going to do a slight recap of something that we did last week. This was actually my favorite part of this service. You know, when you're a public speaker, it seems that people often remember the weirdest thing you said, and this is the part that I remembered. It brought me joy I'm tying my thing because I'm shy. Okay. It brought me joy all week because it just did, and I wanted to relive it again with all of you. So if you saw it last week, bear with me, okay? In this book, Living Untethered, Michael Singer says, he refers to the sacred self as you in there. There is something in there that is you, that sees through you, okay? That perceives through you, that is aware through you. Last week I used the example, I showed 3 pictures. And so right now, look at the podium, look at the piano, look at these beautiful flowers. And who sees the flowers? I do, right? So who is seeing when I see? The answer is, I am. Say, I am. I am. I see. Say, I see. Right? Who hears when I hear? I hear, right? Who smells when I smell? I smell. 2 Sundays in a row, I get the congregation to say, I smell. Now turn to somebody and say, you smell. There you go. Okay, it brings me joy. I won't do it next Sunday, but it makes me so happy to have the entire congregation tell somebody they smell. Don't try this at home, by the way. Okay, so that is locating the sacred self. It is that being within us that perceives, that is aware, that is conscious, okay? That's the sacred self. That is the ocean of reality. It is the I am consciousness that we sing about every week. And there is this I am consciousness, and out of that arises personal mind. It's sort of like saying there's this context, there is this matrix of undiluted spirit, and out of that arises content, the details and the duties and the perspectives in our lives. They're not separate, but there is an arising that takes place. Some spiritual teachers, some mystics, compare it to an ocean and a wave. The sea of consciousness is like the ocean, and a wave rises up out of the ocean. It is not separate from the ocean. That's you and me and all of us. We are that wave arising out of the ocean. And there is a sea within us, the sea of our thoughts, and that wave of a specific thought or a specific idea, a specific intention, that rises up out of us as well, okay? Rumi said that we are the ocean in a drop. Mother Teresa said that we are a drop in the ocean. The answer to that is, who's right, who's wrong? The answer is that we all are. We're everything. Everything is right there. We are both a drop in the ocean, and we are the ocean in a drop as well. Another way to look at this, a lot of mystics teach this as well, is that we are like the light that shines through a prism, right? And the light refracts off into different colors of the spectrum, but the colors are all emanations of the light, just as we are. We are emanations of the one light. Now, I might be blue today, or I might be pink today, or I might be purple today, or whatever it is. But if we go back to that same light that pours through each of us, we are both individual and one at the same time. Can you feel that? Can you feel that? Yeah. It helps me to think of those images when I try and sort out what is personal mind versus sacred mind. It's really one and the same, but it sort of packages itself in different ways. Okay? So one of the things that the personal mind does, and it's supposed to do this, it does this for our safety and for our comfort, and the rattlesnake and the butterfly reading. We want to know the difference between a rattlesnake and a butterfly, and the consequences they might have. But the personal mind tends to sort and label, and then it gets stuck. It sorts, labels, and sticks, okay? So we see a butterfly, and we say, the butterfly is good. The opposite of a butterfly, perhaps a rattlesnake, is bad. That is our mind personally sorting. This is a picture of an opera singer. Dion is related to this opera singer, Marilyn Horne, a very world-famous opera singer. And the reason I brought her picture in here today was because when I used to sing in opera choruses in Southern California, one of the things that we would do, if we weren't quite up on the language we were singing in, like say it was Italian or French or whatever, and if it was a really long opera and we were on stage a long time and we couldn't really get it together, somebody in the chorus would go, is this a bad thing or a good thing? And we'd react accordingly, because you have to react to what the soloists are doing. So it was all, is this a bad thing? Is this a bad... Okay, that was a bad thing. Is this a good thing? Oh, yay! Oh, happy. Soon that turned into a laughter thing, which wasn't always so good if it was a bad thing happening. But if you're singing opera chorus, we have an opera singer somewhere here, there she is. If you're laughing and you're supposed to be sobbing, you can just put your hands over your face and pretend that you're sobbing, just so you know, if that ever happens to you, okay? This is very professional. Okay, so we're always asking, is this a bad thing or a good thing? One of my friends told me that now he said that men are hunter-gatherers and women they want to bond with things. So that when men, I don't know if this is true anymore, forgive the gender stereotypes, but one thing that he said is when men click a remote on a TV screen, they go, is this a friend or a foe? Nope, friend. Don't stay. Or stay. If this is a foe, click. Is this a foe? Yep. Click. Is this a foe? Click. Women want to bond with it a little bit more. Again, forgive the gender stereotypes, but that's what I've heard. But we're doing that all the time. We're constantly asking ourselves, is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Is this something that likes me? Is this something that doesn't like me? And we are making up a story based on those generalizations, based on that sorting, based on that label that we're giving something, and not seeing the other side of the picture, okay? This starts at a very young age, all right? A couple of weeks ago, I went to my great-nephew's birthday party. He turned 7, and he had 25 of his best friends come over. And my family warned me, you know. They know I'm not around a lot of little children all at the same time. They were treating me like I was some type of like made out of glass or something. I had the best time, oh my gosh. And the whole time I was there, I was saying, this reminds me of something, this reminds me of something, this reminds me of something. And I was driving home, giving thanks for the day and understanding that it had been such a sacred event. It does remind me of the workings of the human mind, but the first thing that came to mind was that it reminded me of, have you ever seen the 10 Commandments? And the part in the movie where Moses goes up the mountain and he gets the 10 Commandments and the Hebrew people are left behind and they make a golden calf and they're having this party when he comes back and they're wild and they're running. It was a bacchanal, people. These first graders were all over the place. Bouncy house. If Moses had had a bouncy house, he wouldn't have broken the 10 Commandments, you know? They were bouncing all over the place. And it was, oh my gosh, it was so much fun because it was such a metaphor. Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? I want that. You can't have it. I want it. I had to guard the cake at one point. Oh, it was frightening. They were all over me. They wanted particular pieces of cake. The fishing thing, they had this fishing game where they would get fish out of this little pool that they had. And the fish were numbered, 1, 2, or 3. And if they had a number 1, they would get 1 Pokemon sticker. If they had a number 2, 2 Pokemon stickers. If they had a 3, 3 Pokemon stickers. Well, the mania around the number 3s was just incredible. And they all had these very strong ideas that 3 was good and 1 was bad. And it comes out of such a great context. I mean, you have to really like Pokemon stickers first, right? So again, I'm not just telling idle stories. We're all doing this all of the time. I mean, can you see a place where you are segregating life, yourself, your thoughts about yourself, into categories? This is good, this is bad, right? What if that's not entirely true? We're allowed to perceive things that we have preferences about. We're allowed to perceive things that we think are good or things that we think are evil. But I think the point is that those thoughts are supposed to pass through us. We don't have to get stuck there. The thoughts inform us, we take action accordingly, and then the thoughts pass through us. How many of us have played an unpleasant encounter 1,000, 50,000 times in our heads, right? That is a thought getting stuck within us. Okay? All right, let's talk about stuckness. We're all so good at it, right? We're all just so good at it. Okay. So in the Buddhist tradition, there is this thing called the samskaras, and I'm Buddhist adjacent. He talks a lot about it in the book, but my understanding of samskaras is that they are pockets of stuck energy, pockets of stuck thoughts or energy that instead of passing through us, stay within us and fester. Okay? They inform us. They tint, not necessarily taint, but they tint our lens of reality, because we're stuck in there. And sometimes we don't always know that we're stuck in that type of energy. One of the, I did some research on this, and none of it spoke to me until I thought of it as knitting a little sweater. To me, forming a samskara with this stuck energy is kind of like knitting a little sweater. It's not a sweater, but it was too cute to pass up. The reason I picked knitting a sweater, it's like we're knitting this tight sweater or a tight shroud around us, right? That keeps us from the fullness of reality. But the joy of knitting, and sometimes if you knit, the sorrow of knitting is that you can unravel it really easily. What if you could unravel all of the ideas that are limiting your perception of reality? What if you could unravel all of the ideas that are limiting your perception of your sense of freedom? What if you could unravel all of the ideas, all of the perceptions, all of the content that is limiting your happiness? What if you could unravel all of the things within yourself that seem to be limiting the appearance of peace in the world? Can we be the peace that we wish to see in the world? Good, thank you. And as we become the peace that we wish to see in the world, that has a ripple effect. The web of connection is beyond our understanding, but it is amazing. You know, I have been to that mountaintop. I have seen that web of connection and understanding, and it is amazing, and it definitely takes working on ourselves to be the peace, freedom, and happiness that we long to see in the world, that we wish others to have as well. We lead by inner transformation. A few more words about samskaras. Another way to look at them, if you don't want the sweater analogy, the knitting analogy, is to think of them as clinging to or resisting life's spectrum. You know, I am just struck. I don't know whether this is, if this is what the Buddhists would say, but I am so struck with the idea that clinging and resisting are the same thing. Michael Singer says it's a lose-lose situation. When we cling to something, we're actually resisting a change. When we resist something, we're clinging to what we have now. You know, it's the same type of energy, and it's the same type of energy that gets us stuck. And the reason I said that life's spectrum, we're clinging to or resisting life's spectrum, is that life is like that butterfly and that rattlesnake. Life is like that light shining through the prism when there's all different colors. What if one day you woke up and decided that blue was the only good color? What if the whole world actually was blue? You wouldn't be able to see the edge of the stage. You wouldn't be able to find your seat. You'd fall on the floor. You couldn't get out the door if the whole world was one color. Spirit provides contrast to us for our benefit, for our blessing, for our joy, for our self-discovery and discovery of the manifestation of miracles in the world through self-discovery. So if we're clinging and resisting, it's something to look at. And again, think of pulling the thread of a sweater, just unraveling it, gently unraveling it. You don't have to hate clinging or resisting. If you want to hate clinging and resisting, you're going to be really busy hating, okay? Because we all do it a lot of the time. Just pull the sweater and just say, there's something else. There may be something else. There may be another way to be in this, okay? It's similar, holding on, clinging, resisting is trying to hold a wave, right? There's a song, right? Trying to catch a wave upon the sand. Yeah, okay. Everybody, no, don't, okay. How do you solve a problem like Maria? There's something about a wave in there. Anyway, so trying to hold a wave is impossible, right? Let's say you like this wave better than all the other waves, and you want that wave to stick. You want that wave to be. You want that wave to be exactly like it was all the time. It's not going to happen. You know, that's the thing. When we fight with reality, when we fight with the sea of consciousness, when we fight with the I am presence, when we fight and argue and cling and resist that which is, guess who's going to win that? It doesn't have to be a fight. It can just be a joy unfolding. It can be like watching the waves on the ocean. It can be like appreciating all of the colors on the spectrum. So for us to take these words home with us, to take these words into our lives, we might want to ask these questions honestly, either now or later, continue to ponder them during the week, to ask, where do I feel stuck in my life? Where do I feel riveted to my opinion about the way things have to be? It's funny, when Brother David was teaching the Buddhist class, he did a class on Buddhism, and he would send me the handouts every week. And one of the handouts was about how we're not supposed to cling to our views. And I was so excited to get that handout because I had many people that I wanted to forward it to so they would stop clinging to their views and realize that I was the one who was right. So where are we clinging? What are we holding on to? What are we trying to push away? Where do we feel stuck? And that leads right into the next one. What are my thoughts? And specifically look at the thoughts where we're holding on, where we're pushing away, where we're deciding that this is bad, this is good. It may be bad and it may be good. I don't want to take that away from the human side of us, but there also may be another side to the story. There might be a bigger picture that is waiting to be revealed through our acceptance and through our surrender. Surrender is simply overcoming, allowing the urge to fight with reality to pass through us, to tell it like it is, and then ask divine spirit, divine love, to guide us towards a greater place of peace and freedom from that thing that we're judging, that we're sorting, that we're labeling. And then ask that question that we often ask in this center: is my truth personal, relative, personal, or absolute truth? Is it the only truth? And the way that we manifest the demonstration of that is that we touch our elbows, right? Touch your elbow, if you want to. Are you touching your body? Yes. Are you touching your entire body? Good job, y'all. When we are clinging to a truth, we are clinging to a partial truth, to a personal truth, to a relative truth. There is a whole bigger picture of truth that surrounds us always, and that is absolute truth. Okay, so some thoughts about how to, again, apply these ideas to our personal lives. Last week I spoke about the idea expressed in Michael Singer's book, that a bird needs two wings to fly. I have never seen a bird fly with one wing. I don't think he has either. You need two wings to fly, and he said that the two wings on the bird were will and grace. Grace is everything. Grace is what has been given, including the current circumstances. Including the current circumstances, and including our capacity to embrace and transcend the current circumstances. Including the capacity to work on ourselves. Including the capacity to be the change that we wish to see in the world. Including the capacity to allow and let go and allow the divine spirit to lead us to a greater sense of joy, peace, freedom, happiness. However, here's where Brother Will comes in. It takes a little bit of work, doesn't it? It takes a little bit of focus. Our stuck places are the stuck places because of focus and repetition, right? What if we were just to shift our focus a little bit, as Bill did in the children's message? If we're having a bad day, perhaps just be grateful for something. I'm grateful that I'm breathing. I'm grateful that I'm sitting or standing. I'm grateful that the sun came up another day. I'm grateful for that which is. Now, it feels insulting to the ego, to the personal self. However, as we start to release the pressure that we're putting on ourselves through clinging and resistance, something opens up, something wonderful. In this place of openness, we identify with the allness of being. We can observe what is going on within us and around us with curiosity, and this allows deep transformation at a deep level. The other day was Friday, the day of the bad traffic, right? Bill pointed that out well. And I went to see one of our beloved center members play in his band at a small art studio on Ventura Avenue. It was so amazing. It was amazing not only because the music was good and the art was beautiful, but it was amazing to be in this place that was a very Ventura venue, very Ventura art scene venue, because the art was beautiful and the studio was beautiful and the band was wonderful and our congregant Michael was wonderful and I wanted to get up and dance, but then, oh man, Hugh's not with me, and I didn't see any eligible men that would look like dancing people around me, so I couldn't dance. And then I thought, well, Hugh's not with me, but look at the ground, it's really uneven. We'd probably fall and break our hips, because we're both getting on in years. And then I looked and there was was a dumpster with all this garbage spilling over it. But oh my gosh, the air was so beautiful and so pristine. And in the back, there was this thing, like this aluminum shed that looked pretty ratty. But oh my gosh, listen to the music. Listen to that singer. Listen to this Latin music that just makes me want to boogie. And it was all so beautiful. And then on the way out, I ran into my dentist. My dentist, people. Hallelujah, exactly. And, you know, I got a chance to play a joke on her, because sometimes when I run into people and I'm buying underpants or something, and I run into people from the church and I'm buying something really personal and they want, Reverend Bonnie, can you help me, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so perfect. I'm running into my dentist. So I went up to her and I said, I got a little thing here, right? It was so much fun. It was so much fun. And the fun was made more fun by the appearances of trash and the ratty aluminum shed and the rough ground. It was incredible. And I drove home and I went to bed and I woke up the next day and I let go of the fight I was having with Kaiser. It was a miracle. Can I hear hallelujah? Hallelujah. Yes, it was a miracle. I decided that I was going to approach this doctor and just tell him that I had deep respect for his position. I know he's in a difficult position. I know that perhaps the policies of Kaiser can't allow him to treat me like an individual. And I just let go. Now, a little clinging snuck in there and said, wow, if you're that nice to him, maybe he'll give you what you want. Had to let that go too. It's an ongoing practice. But had I not had that conflict with the doctor, I wouldn't have had this revelation that strangely was beautiful to me. It felt like such a trivial thing in the light of what's going on in the world and in the light of other challenges that I know people are having. But just allowing that little transformation of letting go of being right and needing to be right and needing to change this person's view was transformative. Unexpected intrusions of beauty. That is what life is. So many unexpected intrusions of beauty all around us, all of the time. May you see them all as we affirm together, I am consciousness. I am willing to be surprised by grace. I am available for all of life's blessings. Thank you very much. Namaste. Thank you. Hey, I have to pray. That kind of a Sunday. Okay. It's so odd to pray without Chris's music under. He usually cues me. Okay, here we go. So just trusting and knowing the divine love that is in everything, let us know that life is life. That life is love, that life is divine, that life is spirit expressing, that we are one with that life, we are one with the sea of consciousness, we are one with the entire spectrum of light in the world. We are the light, we are the love, we are the being. We are awareness, we are aware of being aware. And so with grace and joy, I trust that the words of this message, that the words of our community as we speak to each other, the music, the reading, all of it, that it all conspires to create a greater opening for this light and love in the world, a greater experience of wholeness, a greater willingness to look past our clinging and resistance, a greater willingness to be with what is and to allow that which is, and to find new and creative ways inspired by divine love and light to lead us into the greatness of the soul. And so I'm just so grateful for this teaching, and so grateful for everyone who lent their consciousness to this spiritual excursion today. So grateful for everything, the darkness and the light. I bless all paths to God, churches, synagogues, temples, mosques, ashrams, fundamentalists, atheists, agnostics. I say a special word of blessing again for our brothers and sisters in the Middle East. And with a heart that is so filled with gratitude, so filled with grace, I say, thank you, Spirit, thank you, love, and I release these words into the divine mystery. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you. Hey.
So I wrote a different story.
You did?
I thought you woke up with a toothache instead of Kaiser. Well, because you played the joke on Dr.
Oh,
Monson.
yeah, okay.
See how we are?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, I didn't wake up with a toothache. Oh,
Okay.
Oh, you didn't know it was a good ending. Okay, yes, no, it's a good ending.
I was
yeah.
like, oh, I bet she had a toothache
Nope,
after that.
I didn't. Nope.
So how easy we cling to stories.
Yes, yes,
And I was so grateful for this message. It made me think of our brother Nipun,
yes.
who really encourages us to the small acts of kindness, the smallness of something so big like kindness or gratitude that really can change our focus, change our being, and change our world. And so this morning, in deep gratitude for kindness and the message that you had today, I just want to say extra shout out of gratitude for Chris.
Oh, yes.
You feel,
Yes.
oh my gosh.
Chris is our pianist, for those of you who have not caught on.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and he's so shy about
Yeah.
what he does and his place here that we really do miss the tinkling. Chris,
You may need to explain that, just so you know.
his little tinkling, he just knows when to
Yeah, he does.
tinkle appropriately.
Yeah. Who doesn't? Raise your hand if you, no, never mind.
Well, it is church.
Yeah, right.
So, in this space of gratitude, I invite you to place your offering over your heart and repeat after me. We trust in spirit.
We trust in spirit.
Love is a giver and receiver of all that we are.
Love is the giver and receiver of all that we are.
We offer this gift.
We offer this gift.
It is an outer expression of our inner abundance and compassion.
It is an outer expression of our inner abundance and compassion.
Our gifts bless many
Our gifts bless many
and return to us multiplied in miraculous ways,
and return to us multiplied in miraculous ways,
so that we may give again.
so that we may give again.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you, Maestro. There's a place inside of me. There's a hunger for a change. I have tried to satisfy. I have tried to rearrange. Surrendering completely, I come ready for my fill. It is then life asks of me, will I go deeper still? Will I go deeper still? Listen, can you hear the voice? Spirit's calling. Let your soul rejoice and leave the shallow place you're in. Come surrender if you will. Love beckons and it speaks to us. Will we go deeper still? Will we go deeper still? Deeper than the waters I have stood in for so long, setting out to see where I know the hand of God is strong, leaving all the worries I've let keep me from going on. I'm troubled where I stand until I go deeper still. I go deeper still. What love has for us is wrapped up in mysteries unknown to the mortal mind. If we're willing to go deeper beyond what we can see, then I know life awaits us place you're in. Come surrender if you will. Love beckons and it speaks to us. Will we go deeper still? Will we go deeper still?
You know what a trailer is at the movies, right? Because that was a trailer for the legendary practitioner karaoke spaghetti night extravaganza that is happening in 2 weeks on Saturday, October 21st, downstairs in Martha's Hall. Now, what is that? This is an annual dinner that is filled with laughter and shenanigans put on by your awesome practitioner team for our beloved congregation. It's an evening filled with great food and libations, nonstop laughter, and lots of fun. Our professional karaoke DJ has a library of over 40,000 songs to choose from.
That's
And
wonderful.
rumor has it
It doesn't have
that our esteemed minister and her handsome slave of love, along with our better known as Huey Lewis and the Muse, and our homegrown talent from practitioners and congregants will be performing. Now, the question is, do you have to have talent? Do you have to be polished? No, not at all, because there will be prizes awarded from everything from the outrageously ridiculous to the smoothly sublime, with crazy antics and accessories highly appreciated. Now, we had 50 slots at the Gourmet for God auction, which went out really quickly and with good reason. So we've decided that since we're cooking, we might as well cook for a few more to raise money for the church. So if you don't want to miss out on this extraordinary opportunity, make sure you go back to the concierge desk right after services and sign up, because we only have a limited amount of tickets, and when they're gone, they're gone. Lastly, I would like, please, I sent out an email to this week to everybody that's already signed up. Once you sign up today, I'll send one out to you, and that will give you the instructions. You simply go online, browse the songs, let me know what you've selected so we can get you on the schedule. Now, the question is, do you have to sing? No, you don't have to do that either. You can be part of the rooting section, but we expect you to do your part. So consider this an invitation to the event of the year, because your presence is coveted. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you. Thanks, Kim. Thank you. Okay, just a few more quick announcements. Kim is an ambassador, so is Rhina over there. If you've got any questions about anything, why did we do a flash mob in church or something else, go ahead and ask them, okay? The flower dedication we did. I'm doing a meeting after service next Sunday. It's October 15th. It's downstairs. It's a getting to know you type of meeting in case you can come whether you want, if you want to get to know people, get to know me. Also, we'll talk about membership a little bit, but mostly it's a conversation about just who are we and what are we about. There's lots of outreach opportunities, volunteer opportunities. If you go through that door, there's lots of things there for you. There's a desk that has information for you. There's food, there's coffee, there's a bookstore. There's also a giveaway table where we have puzzles and books that we're giving away. And one last thing is that after the service, if you would like prayer with one of our divine practitioners, not only do they dance, people, they pray. Okay, come on down front, speak to one of those people in the white stoles, and they would be honored to pray with you, and they are fantastic. So I think that's all we got. I'm going to go ahead and do a prayer. All right, so just turning within, let's do a repeat after me. We are a center of love. We are love. We share love. We serve love. And so it is. Thank you. Namaste.